sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's having a great day. Great start to their weekend. Ms. Birdie and I went to Eric Church last night, which was epic. Great show. The opening, what do you call that when, like the opening intro? I love my wife because she points this out before I could even do it. So much Freemason symbolism. Unbelievable. A girl laying on the ground with black eyes and then just so much weird stuff. And that's why I love that woman, because she's like, babe, are you seeing this? I'm like, this is the last thing that I would have expected at a country concert. But it's probably not a surprise. The entire music industry is captured. So anyways, what is going on, everybody? Tinfoil Hat Claire is tuning in from her boyfriend's bedroom. Inked Malma, what up? Jennifer Yadav. Huffy Knickers, what up? From Great Britain. What up, Laura? How are you doing? UFO Dogs in my basement. Discord Dawn, what up? What up? Essie, how are you doing? Froggy. Growth Renewal. It's Grammy T's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Grammy T. What up, Jay Lynn? Yeah, the beard had to go. It just got trimmed a little. I mean, obviously I shaved all of it off, but I got my hair cut yesterday and I was starting to look a little lumberjack-esque. What up, Dina? Amanda B from West Virginia. Sinful bitch. 420 sitting on the couch. Love it. Happy Saturdays, right, Rayanne? The Hive is buzzing. Tuning in from May. Good to see you, Jamie. Shells, how are you? Lola. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe how much younger I do look. I was letting that thing go. But I knew it was bad when my business partner was like, dude, you got some chin music going on. And I'm like, damn, I gotta maybe tighten this thing up a little bit. Thank you, Shells. I appreciate that. What up, Amanda? Tony, what up? What up? Thank you, Essie. You're too kind. Yes, happy birthday to Grammy T. Live from Texas with a sunburn already, not an NPC tuning in. Yeah, I know, right? Chin music just hits different, and I'm like, God, I got to get rid of this. Australia, what's up, Donna? Good to see you. Yeah, I can hear your voice in my head the way you just said that, Don. Sarah Sluice tuning in from the UK. Love the UK Hive. Noel, I could say it for you. Hey, Kiki, look, it's me. I don't know what that means, but it's now the second time that I've done that. And I think that's hilarious and awesome that you say that. So whatever that meaning is, I am more than happy to do it. What up, K Wolf? Minnesota gang, Gabby girl. What up, Brooke? Good to see you. Hood Fairy, what up? Luna, how are you doing today? Welcome to the Matrix is right, Core. Good to see you. And all right, Hive. So if you can't tell, I do have a PSYOP analysis report at the top of this picture with the body cam footage from the police officers when they showed up to the alleged murder scene of the Idaho 4. And I say alleged because there's a Hive Mind find that really lays out pretty crystal clearly some of the rumors that we've heard and the way that this person wrote it out. I wanted to put that statement as a Hive Mind find, so we'll get to that. But that ultimately inspired what this theme of the stream is, which is we need to uncover the truth. I think sometimes we get so carried away, myself included. You guys know me. I love a good conspiracy. And now is probably a good time for my disclaimer, which is if this is your first time tuning into the Hive Mind, this is a contrarian thinking or conspiracy live stream. We're not afraid to think past the headlines. So if you're easily rattled or offended on behalf of others, this is probably not going to be the stream for you. However, if you'd like to look into things, question the narrative, and maybe you are known as the conspiracy theorist in your friend group, well, you have found your people, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I go live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Central, as well as on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Saturdays, I kind of just pop on whenever I get a second. My mother actually retired. She's having her retirement party today, so that's exciting. So I will be going to that this afternoon, but I have some time right now. And going back to uncovering the truth and me saying that I love a good conspiracy. And I kind of briefly mentioned this on stream the other day. This is no longer a conspiracy. This is just straight up criminal. I'm not talking about Brian Koberger, okay? I'm talking about what we have watched unfold is criminal. It's criminal what the media has done and the brainwashing that this has caused. I got into my first ever X argument, which was interesting. It's wild that you go from YouTube and TikTok where you have to say unalived instead of murdered or pew pew instead of gun to X. And I'm like, damn. People could throw out whatever they want at you, and it's just a little bit different. So I had to clap back a little bit, and it's just wild to me how people will argue the same points over and over and over and over again. Now, why am I talking about uncovering the truth? It's like, well, yeah, Bertie, of course, no shit. We want to uncover the truth. I believe we're looking in the wrong direction. I really do. I think that we have been diving into stuff that, while yes, it's suspicious, it's not getting us any closer to the truth. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist when I say that. You guys know, if you've been in the Hive, we have put in hours, probably days at this point, literal, maybe even weeks, looking into everything. The Linda Lane footage, the Grub Truck footage, the photos, the court docs, the 4chan and Reddit threads. And yet, how do we not have the truth? How do we not know what the hell happened at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho in November of 2022? How do we not know that? And while, yes, it says PSYOP analysis report, I don't know if this was originally meant to be a PSYOP. I think the narrative has been hijacked into a PSYOP. They've taken this narrative and they've used it to their advantage. Now, why pick this case, though? What are the chances that somebody randomly just decides to hijack the narrative of the Idaho 4 case in order to push for IGG, which the FBI has been lobbying for upwards of $60 million plus annually to allow IGG to be admissible as evidence where they don't need a warrant, and that it should be allowed, or they should have access to those databases, rather. What are the chances that somebody that runs these news organizations just so happens to find the murder case over a weekend that blows up into world news and is unsolvable, and then is redacted, and then has national security statements by the judge, that photos are blacked out, that the 911 call might be manipulated, that the time's off, that there's this bot army ready to pounce at anybody who questions the narrative around it? What are the chances of that just being random and a groundswell of organic growth to turn it into what it is today? Zero chance. There is zero chance that this is organic. And I just wanted to talk through that because when you really break down what this has turned into, this is now damn near political. And I'm not talking right or left. Pro burger or guilters. Think of how divisive this is. That is by design. Zero chance it's random. They're never going to let a crisis go to waste. That's exactly right. I am Lux. And that as well, Robin. Fear keeps people blind to the truth, and that's what, you know, the powers that be count on. And I think Sherlock, you know, because you've been following me from the TikTok days, and I know a lot of people in here have. One of the things that I'm most proud of in my research on the Idaho 4 is the funding by the NIJ. And it never gets talked about. And I think that's also where I'm starting to lean into. Brian Koberger transfers to the school that has all this funding. And I'm not trying to sound like a broken record. You guys are like, Birdie, we know. So what does it mean? Well, I'm going to try to get there. Going off of Sherlock's point and what I just said about how there's zero chance that this is random. And this could have all been about weakening the Constitution when it comes to admissible evidence. And then you bring in a study and funding. Brian Koberger has no link to the victims. No public link. They've said that in the post-sentencing press conference. We wish it were true, but it's not. And we exhausted all of our resources. So I do wonder if at this point in time, is it time to step back and look at this case from a completely different angle, one that we've never looked at yet before? And I'm saying we need to, and I brought this up on a TikTok live that I joined. I said, do you guys think that if we had access to everything that we did right now, the interrogations, Dylan, Hunter, all the court docs, police reports, photos, if we had all that in the beginning, do you think that we would have the same outcome that we are at today? Because I don't think we would. There is for sure a game plan behind how they release this evidence. It is a slow drip, and it is random, and they are mixed together. The photos are a perfect example. Why are you releasing all of these photo dumps and not doing it all at once? And then it's like, why are they showing us just different angles of the kitchen again? Why? And you can say, oh, they're different days. Okay, that's fine. But still, in general, even with the police documents, why are they releasing them in batches? Who cares if it's a lot for the public? Just put it all out. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't think it's by the truth seekers. I think there's nefarious intent behind it. So my goal for this stream and my challenge today to the Hive, and I love these Saturday lives as well as the Friday mornings. The chats are always a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate. I can keep my eye on the chat. I want to work with you all today, and I want to try to piece together a theory that no one's talked about. And I've been floating this out there, putting some feelers out there, and I wonder if at the pregame, before the football game on Saturday, are we to think that after the game, nobody came back over to that party house prior to going to other parties, allegedly? I want to challenge everybody to wipe their memory clean. And I know from experience that is hard for some people to do. People sometimes are incapable of forgetting what they know about something, but it's a skill that we should all try to learn. And that is, let's start over. Type of 1, if you guys are following what I mean. I'm saying, let's start over. We're not going down the right path. And type of 1, if you'd be interested or if you follow what I mean. Yes, we're going to look at it with fresh eyes. Now, Maybe people are like, why is Birdie saying he's going to start over looking at this case? He's put so much time into it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That is what we are doing. That is what every single person, for the most part, seems to be doing, myself included. I'm guilty of it. You know, I'm aware enough of what I've been doing, and obviously I do these streams. I can't get on here and go look at these damn 4chan and Reddit threads again. My eyes will bleed. I can't listen to the 911 call again. My ears will bleed. I need the Hive's help in piecing together the real timeline. If we can piece together the actual timeline, and yes, what Sherlock just said, we need to take a step back and we need to talk about it. We need to reassess what we think we know. Very similar to how a court proceeding would happen. Can we prove this? Or is it hearsay? Can we prove this? Or are we just being told it? If we can't cross-check things in this case, moving forward, we're not going to do it. Okay? That X fight that I got into, Hive, it fucking changed me. It changed me. It rattled my cage. Not that the person did that. That guy's a clown puncher. But the comments of people who cannot see anything past the narrative, it just woke me right back up. It woke me right back up. And to be quite frank, I'm motivated to look at it in a different light. I don't want to just be known as the crazy conspiracy theorist Birdie. I say this humbly. I'm a very smart person. If you look at from like grades and how intelligence is typically measured, yes, I'm smart and I love to critically think. Okay? And I'm smart enough, and I think a lot of people in here are smart enough and self-aware enough, rather. Maybe I should say self-aware enough instead of smart. That's not meant to say sound condescending. I'm confident in my intelligence, as you should be too, because I research, I learn, I continue to learn. And it makes you feel good about your ability to think. And I'm aware enough that I have been doing the definition of insanity with this case. I have so much random shit that doesn't add up. No idea how it fits together. No idea. And I'm motivated. I'm motivated to, I don't know if this case is possible to solve it, but I'm motivated to get closer than any other theory I've ever had. And I say that hoping that people in the Hive will rally behind me and grind this out with me. Thank you so much, Hood Fairy. Hell yeah, let's do it. OG TikToker. Thank you so much again for that. And I hope you guys are motivated. It's interesting how that X fight made me feel that way. Because I've had hella comments. A lot. Calling me a crazy conspiracy theorist. I don't care if people call me that. I don't care what people say about me. But when I feel as if my own intelligence is now being questioned in my own head, like I'm questioning my own intelligence, not because what I found isn't interesting, not because what we have found doesn't not make sense and fit into the official narrative. There is so many stones that are still unturned when you go in a different direction. And I'm going to really reiterate this, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox and we're going to get into it. Please. And in the chat, when there's people that are joining and they're new and they don't know why I'm saying certain things, please, Hive, I'm putting a request out. Bring them up to speed. We are forgetting everything that we thought we knew about this case, and we are going to start over. And type of one again. I want to get people all on the same page. Type of one again if you guys are fired up and you guys want to do this. I'm ready to go deep on this. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Because on Monday, I'm starting the new segment, the kind of a different channel direction. Instead of doing the quick cuts, I'm doing the daily sting. That's going to scratch my itch of being able to look at different stuff and you guys hear different stuff. Current events, headlines, other random shit that I find that I'm like, I'm going to talk about this today. The lives, buckle up, baby, because I'm telling you, I have this thought in my head that if we can all collectively get behind this, we are going to blow people's minds. We are going to blow people's minds. All right. You guys get my point. Let's do it. So, if you have not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. All my streams are free. That is the best way to support the stream. And I do have other platforms, obviously, even if you don't tune in on there. The next time you open those apps, if you could please type in Birdie_Hive Mind or Birdie, and then give me a follow or a like on those. I would really appreciate it. It helps grow those newer pages. And then obviously, when I do post and we cross post, if there's people that you want to send it to, it makes it much easier. So please hit that subscribe button. And next time you open the apps, if you could give me a follow, that would be very much appreciated. And again, kind of a closing out on this merch, which is great merch. It's great quality. It takes a little bit to get there, probably about 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks. But MSNPC t-shirts, tinfoil hat, Hive Mind hat, the hoodies, you guys saw me wearing that yesterday, super comfortable. And as a reminder, the Hive Mind Roundtable Sunday, October 5th at 7 p.m. Central. Please send that email with Roundtable in the subject line, birdiebombshell00@gmail.com. If you'd be interested in joining the Roundtable, treat it like a FaceTime with 4 friends talking and just shooting the breeze. And all that I ask is you have about an hour and a half of uninterrupted time where there's not going to be people in the background or background noise. Super easy to join. I send you a link, you click it, and that's it. So Sunday, October 5th. Now, Rayanne just kind of is asking a question to follow up on what I just said, which is I'm really tired of finding out stuff that makes it so real and shocking that any good lawyer could take and win without even breaking a sweat. How can we know if what we are reading in our hands is truth? And I shortened that question because it was a pretty long one. It was from a couple weeks ago. And that's my point. Are we have we been so desperate for documents that we have just taken them as is at face value? It's not to say, and before anybody says this is not what I'm saying. There are things that are still going to be a fact in the case. But what I'm saying is I want to wipe the entire whiteboard off. And when we get to those facts, when they're needed, that are true, we bring those in. But leading up to whenever those moments are not happening, I would like to theorize with the Hive a new theory. Because we're all just sitting there with a stick poking these things saying, do something over and over again. Nothing's happening. So, Rayanne, I think how I would answer this question is what I was just talking about prior to this being on the screen. So I will just forego this and say, refer to my statement 2 minutes ago. So thank you for submitting that. And I did just also see Dana Allen said, Birdie, you're awesome. Don't question yourself ever. You see through BS. I do. And thank you, Dana. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat. And same to you, Rayanne. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's do it as right. Now, I have a couple Hive Mind finds that I want to get through, and then we will do this. Which now, see, I should have thought this through. The other thing, Hive, that I also want you to know is that I put a lot of effort into thinking through how is this going to be the best viewing experience. Like if I was watching my own stream, what would flow? And I'm going to give myself a little bit of coaching right here. I probably shouldn't have said, we're going to wipe everything clean and we're going to stop looking at it because my eyes are going to bleed. My ears are going to bleed. I should have probably done the Hive Mind vines first. That's what I should have done, because now it's like we're going to go right back into looking through all that stuff the same, which is hilarious. So that is noted that moving forward, if that's the case, I probably shouldn't put that same stuff right into the Hive Mind finds right after I get done saying we're starting over. But nonetheless, it's addressed, it's noted, it will be better. And Ample Spark had submitted saying maybe there is something going on in the background, which this says, this is a court document. It says deprive a person of a right to a fair trial or impartial adjudication. And I'm going to kind of breeze through these. And Northern Lights, this is a top dog Hive Mind find. I didn't put anything else on there because what is written goes right in hand with what I'm saying, with rumors, non-verified. And I'm talking, we can piece this together. I'm talking, when I want to go as granular as Brian Koberger's in Pennsylvania. Let's map out why did he decide to go out there, down to he moves in on what date? Are there things that we can learn about his tendencies? Where, like, not that we're going to go back and like stalk his movements, like not like, how many times did he take a piss a day? Not like that granular, but I want to go so granular on all the main players. When did Brian Koberger get into town? When did these girls show up for school that year? When did they move in? How did they become roommates? What are these things? All of the things that nobody's really taken the time to understand about this entire situation. And I will guarantee you right now, September 27th, 2025, even if this falls flat on its face with a new theory, which it very well might, we could fail miserably. But I can tell you that what we are doing in starting over is better than continuing to look at all this same stuff that we have in that same light. It's a great question as well. Sherlock, what's on the victim's phones before? Yep, that's right, Joanna. And you're right, Rand, it might not. Yeah, exactly. It just rules out a theory, which apparently all these simps over on X don't understand what a theory is. I crashed out on X. If you're not on X, or if you don't follow me, you'll see it. I mean, the guy was calling me names, like the buzzwords, saying that I'm racist because I follow Stu Peters, which is hilarious because I had a profile for not even 3 days, and all I did was click follow on people who were covering the Charlie Kirk, and that triggered him, saying that he could tell a lot about me by who I follow. Simp. I told him that reading his response was like watching someone drown in a kiddie pool. That's how tough it was to get through it. So, and then he also said that if anybody needs METH to DM me, but I reminded him that his mom is probably still standing on the corner and she could front him the family discount. Oh. So, anyways, here's what Northern Lights said, which is a very good point. If the snuff story is true and that's how it happened in the house, then the photos don't add up, in my opinion. Fact. I think that in order to dismember 4 people like that in that time, at least 4 perpetrators were needed to carry out the crime and control the noise. The whole house would have had to be covered in blood, right? That's not something you can just clean up. Then there's the site of the victims. D and B's reaction was strange enough, but now it doesn't make any sense at all. Any halfway normal person would have gone crazy at the sight of that. Or am I wrong? If the snuff film is real, nothing fits together anymore. And that's what I mean. It's like there's just a lot of stuff that we've all given weight to. Like, and I got to text Mrs. Birdie back real quick. that we've all given weight to. And people can say, well, Bertie, you put out theories of rituals and Witsec. And yeah, it's a theory. At least, and I'm gonna give myself props and the Hive props. You know what? At least those theories were explained thoroughly. At least all of those theories, the parts where the dots had to be connected, they were connected. Doesn't mean that it was right, but I'm not just out here blubbering away about Witsec. I looked into the parent company of the moving company that they used, and I've never seen somebody who passed away have the local police move all their shit out, including the survivors. People can say, well, in small towns they do it. Okay. I've never seen it, and it's not normal. Most times the family has to pay for that. So, and yeah, real quick, just to address this, Jamie, Sammy T, everything's all good with Sammy. Little bit of honestly, it's not, I'm not going to share it. I can let her share it if it's not, nobody got hurt. Nobody's in the hospital. Nobody died. Everything is totally fine with Sammy. And I know she'll appreciate you guys asking. Right. I mean, shit, I could still be right, you know? Any of us could be. And boom. Boom. Just absolutely cooked with this Hive Mind find. Great work, Chaos Quinn. Hey, I've never seen this. I have never seen this article. December 5th, 2022, from Left, University of Idaho President Scott Green, Dean of Students Blaine Eccles, Provost, and Executive Vice President Tori Lawrence, and Moscow Police Chief James Fry addressed the media at the November 13th, 2022 shooting of 4 University of Idaho students. November 13th, 2022, shooting of 4 University of Idaho students. And Chaos Quinn said, I'll just leave this here. Top dog. Top dog. Absolutely incredible. I mean, that is, if I had to have a Hive Mind find Hall of Fame, this is on the first ballot. This is, and exactly, River Bear Teacup. And that's why I pulled this picture. Because their niece called them and said Kaylee was at a party and it got shot up. So I'm not saying that that's the theory that we're going to go with, but to me, I would like to have things where if we're going to put this together, Hive, which you know what would be fun to do. I know there's a couple of websites where we can have like a working whiteboard, almost like a giant web as we do this. Maybe even a Photoshop document or I don't know if Canva can do it, but I'll figure something out with that. Because to me, like this is the level that I think we need to at least require of ourselves if we're going to do this. What is the evidence of there being a party that got shot up? I want to be able to go and say, well, if you look right here, there's a video of the parents talking about it when they heard about it. There's an article that talks about it. And that is what I want to be able to do. And I'd like it to be where we can go pull it up at any point. So, Hive, I'm not sure if you know, spread the word, the more the merrier that pop into these lives now as we're going to start to do this. And it's not to say that every live is going to be this way, but I really feel compelled to do this for nothing less for my own sanity. Put so much time and effort into this case. I would just hate to not correct course. And you heard it from me. You have my word everybody out there that thinks Brian Koberger is guilty, you have my word. Right hand to God. If we start doing this and it seems like Brian's guilty, you'll hear me say it. Okay? I'm going to fully and completely start from day zero. Brian was arrested, right? That's not necessarily day zero, but right? We're going to start with that. There's a guy who was arrested. And are we going to get to, yeah, it's looking like he did it? Or, yeah, they're looking like they arrested the wrong guy. I truly believe that we need to do that. And I just want to reiterate that to remind everybody that's the only way that we're going to be able to think with fresh eyes on this. Yeah, 4 people were killed, 1 person was arrested. Exactly. And who knows? You're right, Miss Anonymous. Thanks, baby. Love you. All right. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do an open source doc. And I got to take some Advil here. Your boy was overserved last night. So, yes, it's the truth that matters. This has nothing to do with Brian Koberger. So, I was going to have us watch Hunter's interrogation. To be honest, it's weird. He chuckles at one point. I would say if you got 20 minutes, I think it's only 16 minutes. Watch it. We're going to adjust. It sounds like everybody's on board with that. And so what we're going to do we got a blank whiteboard right here. Everybody following? And let's see, what would be a good flow chart? I mean, look, they even got floor plans on here we can go through. Well, yeah, this stuff I can't make bigger. I mean, these are just the templates. So I'm trying to look real quick. If you guys can bear with me. I just need a simple flow chart. Perfect. No, this one. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Just so we can all get on the same page with this. Okay. We are starting over. Welcome to the Hive. If you are emotionally immature, just scroll right now. That is the new disclaimer. If you're emotionally immature, just do this with your thumb and have a good day. So that's what we're going to do here, Hive. Now, here's what I want to do. I think it's really good that somebody just said, let's go back to the beginning. News releases. Okay. So let's go to Idaho for murders, University of Idaho, articles from 2022. And if anybody has stuff from when this initially went down, let's start putting those back. Dawn, what would be the best spot for that? Would it be should we create a new thread, Hive? Or Dawn, I don't want to over like convolute it. Should we have like a new theory thread, like where it's all articles from people going back and finding what they could when this first happened? Yeah, and like Wayback Machine type stuff. Great idea. Both you two. So, to be honest, I like Wayback Machine, and I think that that's probably what we're going to have to do. It just sometimes it takes so long. I'm excited about this. I think this will be a good exercise. Now, does anybody know? Oh, shoot. Does anybody know on Wayback Machine? Oh, yeah, calendar. Here it is. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Why is this taking forever? I don't know if I'm going to see. This is why I'd like to put these into the Discord instead. Wayback Machine takes so long. And I don't understand. So, all right. Skip that. Let's just try it on Google for now. All right. What up, Mitty Witty? Does anybody have any tips on searching for Google how to get back to the beginning? Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. See, wait, here we go. 2022. Like, here's an article. Like, I think it's important to go back and see, like, what were they saying? This was so long ago. No arrests have been made. No arrests have been made. Where the hell is my pop-up blocker? Come on. Okay, got it. So, All right, this I think that this is going to be interesting, but I'm trying to think through how do we start this. Okay, I'm sorry for the lack of conversation right now. So I'm gonna assess right now, and I think what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna do this. Okay, let's just hypothesize right now, and yeah, I think that that's what's going to end up happening. Is it's going to be people are going to start piecing together their own theories. Like this is, like the epitome of the definition of the hive mind. Okay. So like let's just start brainstorming kind of the best way to go about it. Meaning like first TV reports, first articles, that's going to be very important. And what I do think this is where leveraging the Discord is going to be so imperative to this, because there's going to be things that everybody's interested in, things that's what they like to do. For example, it could be the TV interviews, it could be the articles, it could be social media posts, right? And I think that that's going to be very important. I think that what we should look for is, do you guys think that we should treat it like, initially 4 people are dead, 1 person's been arrested? Do we go like first 48 hours? Do we do it in that approach? Should we look for the first 48 hours from November 13th to November 15th or 16th? Because I think that we have to put this into smaller blocks. Yeah, not an NPC. Dawn, can you, just Dawn or I or somebody will make an announcement about the Discord and how you'll see the thread. Okay, so let's do the first 48 hours. And that's what we're going to dig on first, because that encompasses everything we just said: articles, TV. And then I think we can then have people who look into that weekend before, right? So we have to understand the crime. This is what I'm saying. We have to, I was going to say, maybe let's just wait until we get it set up for the Discord. We're hypothesizing how this is going to be the most efficient right now. Okay. We got a good amount of people in here that we should all be able to get a good game plan together. And I think what we have to do is we have to react. We have to think from, we just saw this. It's like breaking news right now. 4 people at the University of Idaho are murdered. And I don't think that we need to dive into, I think that it would help that we know 1 person was arrested. That's the only thing that I would say might matter. Hang on. What are you saying now? Gypsy? Was this? That wasn't somebody that was pretending to be me, was it? I'll never ask for money, just to clarify that too. And Sherlock recommends LexisNexis and ProQuest for archived newspaper articles and specific subject and time frame. The Media History Digital Library. Thank you. Yep, we can analyze crime patterns in the area prior to the crime. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, any fake profiles, please do. Yeah, that's absolutely going to be stuff. But see, what's hard is it's hard because we know all that. We know all of that. I'm trying to say, how can we just look at it like this scene, this crime just happened and we don't know that? That's going to be a challenge in itself. So that's what I'm saying. Do we just look at the first 48 hours? That will allow us to assess what is happening. It's we're really investigating. This just happened. They call it the first 48. Those are the most important. We need to figure out who lives at the house, who was all at the house, who's dead, right? Are there suspects? I think we have to treat it that way and investigate it from then. And then it'll spider web off into it. Yeah, a board of people that is all involved. Yep. Yeah, the who, great idea. I think perfect. Top dog. That's simple. We need things that are simple that everybody collectively, there's no confusion about it. And I think we should do the first 48, who, what, when, where, and why. Does that sound good, everybody? Because that gives everybody the ability to put their theories out there. But it also is going to, again, going back to the beginning where there are people that were suspected that, I think that's good. So who, what, when, where, and why for the first 48. Great job. That's very simple. That is exactly what I was looking for. So what's the read technique, Phoenix? God, there's nothing better than soda. I very rarely drink it, but it smacks whenever I do. Oh, you're saying Cash App got hacked? Okay. Glad to hear it's not me. And yeah, everyone be careful with those apps. Sunshine Dragonfly. This is your first live. Well, what a first live to capture. This is awesome. It's an old banned form of police interrogation. Yes. Okay. When you watch the interrogations, apply the knowledge as the experts do. Perfect. So, okay. We are going to dig on that. I will let you guys know when those threads are up in the Discord. For the time being, let's briefly talk through, let's briefly talk through things that not many people have talked about. Okay. Meaning, what's an angle that has never been looked at with the Idaho 4? Right? People have said, and be specific, not just like frats, not just like ritual, not just like snuff film. I'm saying, what's one that people haven't ever heard? And let's see what some people come up with. People have definitely heard this. I mean, right? They've heard that, but not, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's not I don't know if you were saying that for the angle or just in general. Okay. That's a good one. Coworkers involved. And obviously in the replay, we'll write these down. So parents' involvement. Again, if you're watching this and you're getting offended, it's very simple to just swipe. This is an exercise. We are theorizing as if this is a college class. What happened with the most suspicious, high-profile true crime case of the last decade? That's what we're doing. We're looking at alt theories. And if anything, if it helps you, we're going to debunk them. That's what we're going to do. We are going to debunk alt theories. We are trying to prove that Brian Koberger is guilty, everybody. We are trying to prove that they got the right person. And we are going to do that because the police haven't found any connection to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to think through things that maybe there would be a connection. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. We are debunking alt theories. And quite frankly, my patience for having to explain that over and over again is running extremely thin. Understand what the Hive is. It is meant to have the conversations and people can ask questions in a place that typically everyone jumps down their throat because they're NPC fluoridated zombies, but not here. And that's not mean. It's just the reality of it. We are all adults. We have the freedom to think out loud. Nobody made you king or queen. Cope harder. All right. So Barbara said coworkers, maybe some parental involvement. Victimology has been missing from the case since day one. President Green. Kaylee's job. maybe an actual serial killer theory. Again, these are things that nobody's talked about before. Oh, you're very new to the case? Nice. Well, this you might help us out. Maybe you break it, you know? Sinaloa. See, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. You guys are definitely, I love that people are able to wrap their head around what I'm saying. And this is what I mean. The Washington State side. Did they look at anybody at WSU outside of Brian Koberger, really? Clearly, it's so close that he could do it. A complete stranger other than BK. Oh, now that would be wild. But again, it's something that's, you know, we can debunk it, right? That's yeah, and I agree with this Wild West. We're going to have to go back before for sure. I just think if we looked at it like this happened, first 48, who, what, where, when, and why, we understand that. We go back, we get the articles, news reports. Then we're going to obviously have to look at it. Well, what happened before this, right? I mean, I think that is the natural flowing progression. Big debts not paid. I feel like we've heard that. Did they get killed outside? Again, it's floated out there. I don't know if anybody's looked into it, you know. The church involvement. Revenge. Is that real? Did they have haters in a lesbian book club? Really? Or is that just, are you just trolling, Dustin? But who knows? Neighbors. Gang war. Yeah. I mean, somebody called into the show at one point. Right, Lisa? Dude, you are on fire. Great job. Actually, you get the GOAT award. That is such a good question. Who benefited most from their deaths? Maybe I should get Brian's friend Will back on again. Right. And that's what we have to keep in mind. We're working together, not against one another. This is like we're proving out a case theory that the government would be shaking in their boots seeing come together in real time, that strangers over the internet in real time are communicating respectfully about a shared idea that we're being lied to and we're done with it. So we're going to try to do something about it. And we're going to meet in the Hive every night at 7 p.m. Central. And we're going to continue to do so about anything and everything. See, yep, they were all undercover. SEX offenders. An Amazon delivery driver. Human trafficking. I have Kelly Patterson that I can reach out to about that. Every time that I've been trying to reschedule, she's been losing her voice a lot, which is unfortunate because then we always have to push it back. But we have that, so we can ask her real life questions on that. The Russians. I agree. New people will definitely be beneficial. For all we know, the aliens got them. The people who filed the noise complaints. No, I have not heard of that, Maury. Is that still ongoing or are they caught? Mind control, some sort of study. I swear it's so hard for me to not think that that's going to have something to do with it, but I really am trying my best to not let that influence the way I think about it. Yeah, how like what is the reason why Bethany and Dylan didn't get touched? The Grubhub truck. I mean, yeah. Sherlock said he looked into the victims' workplaces. It's all like deleted, blocked, scrubbed, blurred from all forms of internet. I couldn't even find any 10K filings either. Wow. Yep. Exactly. Like that's something leading up to it. Everybody heard about this shakedown. And WSU Kim talked about it. Again, it's just like I almost think like, what if we looked at nothing mainstream? That would be a good exercise too. Maybe they, yeah. Right. The Lawless Four gang. And how? How? Yes, we have to pretend we don't know anything about it for sure. Supposedly, some connect to making a murder case. Shut the hell up. Do you know the name of it? Really? Yep. Great question. The DoorDash driver. I don't think it's unrealistic. I mean, shit, Brian Koberger was random as hell, right? No connection. Nothing on social media. Oh. See, the other thing is we need to establish the motive. We need to establish the motive, the real motive. A motive that makes more sense than Brian Koberger killing them because they're beautiful. And this is not disrespecting the victims of the families. We're seeking truth, everybody. And if you think that you've been told the truth, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if there's any saving you. Respectfully. Yeah, that's a great point. What is the timeline? Two separate timelines. What is the secret? You're in Pullman right now? Wow. What's the vibe like out there, Valerie? Is it eerie? It does certainly feel that way, huh, Chris? So that's what I'm saying. My eyes are going to start bleeding if I keep looking at this shit. Yeah, that's the first name that popped into my head. We get George Webb on to talk about that. The other thing, let me also put this disclaimer out. Okay. In the Discord, just so I want to be crystal clear about this, Hive. We're not going to dox anybody. Okay. Please do not put anything in the Discord that doxes anybody. I don't stand for that. I think that it's messy. Please don't do that. I'm not going to do it. If you do some digging on your own, obviously that's on your own time. But in the Discord, please, 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 please do not do that. Do not post it in there. Publicly available information only. I want to make that crystal clear. And I hope you guys agree with me on that and understand why I'm saying that. See, God, you guys are on fire with these. And I agree. Okay, the motive might be the only thing we really need to know to unravel this case. Is that true? Does school tuition, do they take out life insurance on them? I mean, I'm sure the university has insurance, yes, but hey, there's been weirder things, right? Weirder things in a lesbian love triangle that a jealous professor got to him. Might be more believable than Brian Koberger. The Palantir investors. Yep. The Walenta pathway to the house, what I called the quote Brian Enton path that leads to the back sliding door. What? Yes, that's another thing too. What does killing them silence them from talking about? What is their silence and who benefits from it? Why did they? What did they know that they had to be silenced and who did it benefit? Again, it goes back to the who, what, where, when, and why. How? You went to high school with SG? Wow. What was he like? Was there a rodeo or a horse show happening? Is that another type of is that like a Garth Brooks thing where people are going missing all over wherever Garth Brooks holds a concert? Is that what you're referring to, Gamble? See, okay. Now, let me ask you all this. We're going back to the beginning, but are there things that are strategically important? See, that's where I struggle. I don't know if we should keep this in mind. I'm torn on that. Because while yes, that could help shape the theory knowing that now, do we need to come to the reason do we need to find something that would qualify as national security first? And I'm thinking that that is the route to go is find something that would be considered national security, if that makes sense, Yvonne. Amen to that. It does take a community. See, this is a great, yeah. I'm glad you said this, Detective Mowry, and no mom jokes today. But yeah, who benefited the most from the murders and who benefited the most from finding the perp? Because there's competing motives on that for sure. Perps on foot instead of using a car. What was the mail that Steve G talked about? Yeah, crypto, hex. What was the business Kaylee and Maddie did from home? See, that would be wild. Everyone's looking at MPD. Is anybody looking at WSU? Brian Koberger applied to the WSU, the Pullman Police Department. That is such a good point, Red Riding Hood. Everyone's been looking at MPD. Oh, hold on. Because yeah, he didn't live far away from Moscow. So why not apply to both? Why not if you didn't get it at Pullman, why not apply for MPD? They had programs for students. We've read about them. Yeah, we're the fourth threat. That's true, satire. Even Trump wanted to know why. Did it start with an OD? The Nez Pierce tribe, reservations close to Moscow. That could be a good point too. Are you saying they were robots? 1111. This is honestly really sounds weird, but it's like this is really interesting and it's very intriguing. Do you guys agree to like read these comments and thinking through things nobody's talked about? It's so on brand for the Hive. I love that you guys are behind this, and thank you all for being behind this because I do think that this is going to be very interesting to say the least. Cloning, and I don't care. We sound crazy. Who cares? Let them call us crazy. See, I agree. Slide and Line 617. Me and Sammy T were live when we caught that. He only said human being for 2 of the victims and not the other. It absolutely matters. The Othram X Factor. See, I absolutely love this question. And there's no answer to it. Why were DM and BF never treated as suspects from day one? Whoa. Whoa. What was the relationship between the 4 people that were unalived? Like, I'm saying this seriously. Like, was it like a battle royale that it ended up turning into? Did they end up getting into a huge fight and they all 4 bled out? Sounds insane. Absolutely. I'm acknowledging that. See, like, that's a theory. I've not heard one person ever say that, Valerie. That's crazy. Wow. Yep. That's another one too, Slide Line. That interview in North Carolina. Who's the creator, Hive, that got the unredacted of that? I've only ever seen it one time, and I only got a partial screenshot of it. I have it in my documents, but that would be another good one. Who were people that knew about the murders and had details about it that were not taken seriously, like that man that had hitchhiked to one of the Carolinas? Dungeon and Dragons. Is that a video game? I'm just giving out top dogs left and right. This is incredible. Right. Yeah. That and that's what I was saying, Valerie. That's what I mean. Like, is that the second weapon? Oh. Again, obviously, there's no evidence of any of this, right? There's no evidence against Brian Koberger. Let's also be honest. But there's so much evidence, Birdie. Kind of glitched out there. That too. What WTF was that is right. I forgot about that, Sherlock. I forgot about that stream. I forgot about that stream with the Grey Wolves. See, that I'm going to challenge you on this, Inked Mama. A respectful challenge. Is this a preconceived notion that we have, though? Does it just look like, I'm serious, we are all calling it corruption. Is it meant to look like corruption to distract us? Like, I think that this is important to think through too. Is there a strategy behind why they would rather look corrupt than expose the truth on it? And they're purposely doing it. Right? So I guess that's maybe not challenging them, but I don't think that I don't know if it helps or hurts with this exercise to assume that it is corrupt. Does that make sense? If you guys disagree with that, we can absolutely run with it that it's going to be that. But I do wonder if that is an assumption, right? Maybe it's strategic. I mean, very true, Kelly. They haven't told us. I have a whole stream on that. That between the ritual and Witsec, I went so deep. A lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It's not a bad thought. Yeah, the who, what, where, when, and why, and how to Constance B. You just kind of up that to bigger and better words, but motivation, opportunity, and ability. Who had the motivation to do this? Who had the opportunity to do this? And who had the ability to do it? Unbelievable. It's so true. Trans Tifa, Mr. Smixon. Exactly. Like, why them? See, this I know. See, I genuinely feel like I could probably be friends with everybody outside of this stream based on this comment alone. See, this is the type of people that I like to hang out with. People that drop comments like this. That could be the first words out of your mouth and be like, we're gonna be buddies. We're gonna get along just fine. Correct. Are you talking about the was that Olivia that had said the LinkedIn was shut down or logged into after the fact, right? Yeah, I think it's good for hang on. I need to clown horn myself. I've been calling you nurtured. It's is that why you added nurse ratchet? Ratched? I've been calling you nurtured. That's hilarious. I'm glad you said this, Miss Anonymous, because that's also something that not a lot of people talk about. I also I love symbolism too, and I find it odd that there's a phoenix shirt being worn and is there a connection? The 4 victims share that the see, this is great. This is literally great. I'm not trying to like be your guys' cheerleaders. These are just blowing my mind. This is a great question. Tracy says, is there a connection that the 4 victims share that the 2 survivors do not? Genius. Absolutely genius. And we should try to answer these. I almost think that this should be one of the first questions we go after. Yeah, that is weird, isn't it, Phoenix? 10 to 12 minutes. You'd think it'd be a couple hours. Hey, you had a knife in your hand when the cops showed up and there's 4 dead bodies in your house. Care to explain? Now that would be the plot twist of the century if it was Brian's dad. Brian, this is speculation. This is a hypothesis. Brian's dad was actually in town the entire time, and it was a father son duo, 2 people, 2 different weapons. Just kidding. I'm not alleging anything. I have a disclaimer on the bottom of my screen because I already know that there's some NPC that's just waiting. I'm screenshotting this. Actually, that's probably one that they would be like, Birdie's right. I agree with him because it implicates Brian. Yes, and just to reiterate that if this is not public, if it's not public, please, guys, do not dox people. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Yeah, why Brian if it is a frame job? And to everybody that's tuning in on X, see a handful of people, almost 50 over on X. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, if you're in the X chat and you're new, can you type a 1? I'm just curious. A Bitcoin scam. Yep. Yes, I do remember that. If we could find, just like how we found the article, why is none of this loading? Just like we found this article, if we could find one about this, what Miss Anonymous just said about the reports of someone going to the hospital, that'd be huge. Well, thank you for tuning in, Lisa. Appreciate it. Welcome. Holy shit, it was Parents Weekend. Stop. Oh, God, I got to turn my brain off now. And then you start thinking back to like that lady that everyone alleged in Pennsylvania was connected to him. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That would be nuts. I think that this is absolutely something that we should look at. Welcome, Sunshine Dragonfly. Chaos Queen, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. That would blow my mind. Oh, it was weekend. But no. At WSU, it was the weekend before? Not Idaho. Or were they at the same time? I don't know. I think Fiji was referring to WSU Parents Weekend. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, is WSU Kim a plant? Got to think through it all with a fresh mind, right? See, now I want to point this out, Harry Potter's beard, because this is a great line of thinking. What if one of them was killed accidentally and the others weren't going to go along with the cover up and then they were going to snitch? Because we've also heard that 2 of the victims were targets, but see, I can't do that. I'm doing it. You guys are seeing what just happened to me. We need to avoid that. That's what we need to avoid. That's what we need to avoid. I just went right back to shit that I've heard. Damn. So U of I was the weekend before. WSU was that weekend. Thank you. That's a great call out. That's awesome. Great point. This needs to be figured out. What D Shade 17 just said. James, like, take all that other shit out. Like, can we figure this out? Can we figure this reason out? I wonder if there's anybody at the University of Idaho that would be willing to come on the stream that was their age, that knew them. Does anybody think that they would talk? We can't give them the audience of what an Amazon or a Dateline would. So maybe they would, but yeah, we have to pretend we know nothing. None of the neighbors heard anything, right? Check the university press releases a week leading up to and day of crimes, as well as any publications of major issues the IT staff was having. Yes, that is it. Yeah, why? How was that a planned IT outage? We got to get devil's advocates to look into that. Did they send an AI killer robot into the house? They exist. Beautiful dogs. Right. Ooh. Kiana Lux says, I think DM was jealous of KG for her relationship with Rosie, and Rosie was protecting DM as a confidential informant. Interesting. All right, Hive. Let's cement this, as I got to get going to my mother's retirement party. Type of 1, if this is refreshing, if you're reinvigorated, and if you're going to be able to go on this journey with the Hive, because I can tell you that just reading these questions got me very, very excited. There's so many smart people in this chat. I mean, for God's sakes, the chat is what makes this stream. It's called the Hive Mind because of you. And I'm honored to be in the driver's seat and stream each night. And I will give you guys my word that I will put as much effort into this as I can to make sure that your guys' research and work is shown. Please join the Discord if you have not. That is going to be our HQ. Okay. So you're going to go right here to where it says more links. Scroll down, and this is the Discord. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that's great. There's a ton of ones. And thank you, Freedom, for the super sticker. You rock. You rock. Everybody that gave a super chat, you know, I can tell you I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for the money. I promise you that, but I always appreciate that. As you know, I want this to be, if I'm going to do this, I want it to be good. I want it to be great. I want you guys to enjoy and look forward to these streams. I want you to feel a part of them. And I really, that's really something that is a priority for me, to make sure that you guys know how much I know the chat is such a huge factor to this, not just for the people that have been here for a while, but for newcomers, for people that are looking for people like us, that are open-minded, that are okay to other perspectives, that aren't going to be silenced or afraid to speak their mind. And they're amongst like-minded people that love that. They love the freedom to think out loud. They love to speak their mind and not have to be worried about the consequences of other people, NPCs, cutting them off, berating them, belittling them, and rather hear them out and have a debate. See, yeah, I know a lot of people. I can tell you, I've got a lot of requests to start memberships. I'm so indifferent on that, Hive. I think I personally, I would never. I get there's ways to do it, and I would never charge for the streams. So maybe. Donna, thank you for the super sticker. You rock. Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely, Jamie. If you're new to the Hive, keep coming back. We need fresh eyes. Thank you for the super chat. Exactly. And that ultimately is like, I'm not trying to get up here and just be on a soapbox about this shit, but there are people that have been in here with me since day one on TikTok, day one on YouTube, that have absolutely leaned into this concept of the Hive being the chat. Well, yes, this is a one-man stream. I may be the host. Actually, I should say it like this. I may be the host, but this is not a one-man stream. We have an army. We have a literal army in the chat. We have badass free thinkers that love and live for this type of stuff. This is a lot of people's hobbies. There's a lot of people's passions is to dig and to find stuff and to stimulate their brain and to not just take things at face value. And so to everybody that has supported me and everybody that has followed me and everybody that's spread the streams and told their family and friends about this, thank you so much. But damn, this is awesome to see what this stream is turning into. It's building momentum. And I can tell you that, again, I'm committed to making sure that this stays the best possible experience as the viewers for you all. And thank you, Leiden 617 for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Personally, I think the other thing too, the reason why I decided to do this and take this approach is because we got unfinished business. There's a lot of people that are getting frustrated. There's a lot of time and effort that have gone into this. People have put real time and real effort into looking into this. And I think that we need, as a collective, to look at this with fresh eyes. And by having the daily sting, which again is going to be on Monday, the daily sting is going to be a pre-recorded 30-minute video that I put out in the morning about current events, other stuff. That's going to give us the ability on the lives, and it's going to give me the ability, rather than just presenting shit, to work with you all. This is a group project at this point. And it's great. Yeah, we're not going to dox. We're not disrespecting victims, all right? Like, I'll hold everybody accountable to that. And you guys hold me accountable to it, please. Thank you, Jamie, for the super chat. And you're right. Absolutely. You are welcome, Jay Gamble. I enjoy doing this. To be honest, when I started streaming, Hive, I enjoyed it, but I'm serious. The people in this Hive have made me fall in love with it. It really, and it's just really awesome. So I am off to my mother's retirement party, and I will be streaming tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central. Please, Dawn or anybody that's helping out with the Discord, one of you guys shoot me a text when that thread is up. I will make an announcement or a post on my YouTube channel and my other channels as well. Or maybe is the best thing to just launch it tomorrow, go live with it when I go live at 7. That might have the best momentum. So then people can leave right from the streams and we can maybe collect our thoughts today and think through it. And yeah, thank you guys. My mom, she tunes in sometimes, so she sees these comments. Yeah, my mom's an angel, and she's worked very hard. So I'm very excited that she gets to retire now. She was a nurse for decades. First person in the family to go to college too, which is great. I'm just reading some of these comments here before I go. I know Mrs. Birdie's waiting on me, so I just said I know Mrs. Birdie's waiting up. You guys want to come say hi to everybody? You're eating something? Oh, you're fine.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Yeah, all right, we got to go. All right, see you guys later. Cheers.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.